Hello everyone and welcome to this new tutorial on my channel. And in this video I'll be showing you how to make this glasses holder. And I think it's an adorable piece of decoration which is functional as well. And as you can see, I made a Winnie the Pooh version here and I made a classic bear version here. So you can choose which version you would like to make. The pattern is the same. However, there's a little bit of a difference. Here I added little eyebrows and a bit of blush. And here I left those details out, so you can decide for yourself whether you want to leave those out or not. I'll be making this version here, so I'll be showing everything to you. I hope you will like the video. If you like it, don't forget to give the thumbs up. This would really help me a lot. And let's get started. So for this tutorial, I'll be using 2 skeins of yarn for the glasses holder itself, so that I can crochet double-stranded with a 5mm hook. However, if you already have yarn which is thick enough for a 5mm hook, you can use that as well. Also, I'll be using black yarn for the details of the nose and the eyes. However, if you have black felt, you can use that instead. So then you don't need to crochet, but you can cut the shapes out of the felt. You'll need a 5mm crochet hook for the glass holder itself, and if you're crocheting the details of the nose and the eyes, you'll need a 3mm crochet hook. Scissors, a darning needle, embroidery yarn. However, if you don't have embroidery yarn, you can also use regular yarn and untwist it to make it thinner. Glue for gluing on the nose and the eyes, a stitch marker, and blush is optional. Okay, so I'll be crocheting with 2 strands of yarn, and first we're going to make a slip knot. And for making a slip knot, we're going to grab the yarn in between our right middle finger and thumb. We're going to wrap it around our index finger to create a loop. Then we're gonna take our index finger out of there. We're gonna pull through the long yarn end right here. We're gonna pull that through the loop. All right. So pull that through, and then we're going to close the slip knot by pulling the short yarn end. Then we can grab our crochet hook and tighten it by pulling the long yarn end. Now we're going to chain 20. So for making a chain, we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull this through the loop on our hook, like this. That's our first chain. We're going to make a total of 20 of them. So let's do that again. Yarn over and pull it through the loop on our hook. Yarn over, pull through. All right, so once you chained 20, we can start doing the first round. So for the first round, we're going to skip the last chain that we did. So we're going to start working from the second chain from the hook. All right, so into this second chain, we're first going to do an increase. So for that, we're gonna go into this chain, going to yarn over and pull through. Now we got 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. This is a single crochet. Now, because we're gonna be doing an increase, we're gonna go back into the same space and do it once more. Now we've done an increase. We can insert our stitch marker into the first stitch that we did. So that's this V right here, so that we know where the round starts. All right. Now we're going to make 17 single crochet across. So for the next 17 chains, we're going to do a single crochet in there. So into the next, we're going to do a single crochet and make a total of 17. All right, so once you've done 17 single crochet, there should be 1 chain left. And into this last chain, we're going to do 3 single crochet. So we're going to go in there, do a single crochet, gonna go back, do a second single crochet, and we're gonna go back for one last time and do a 3rd single crochet. All right, so now this side of the chain is finished. Now to continue the first round, we're going to work on the other side of the chain, And also I'm going to put these yarn ends on top of my stitches so that I crochet over them and that I don't have to hide them into my work afterwards. Alright, so first we're going to do 16 single crochet across. So for the next 16 chains, we're going to do 1 single crochet in there. So find your first space, that's right there. I'm gonna go in there. I make sure that the yarn end is on top of my stitch and I just do a single crochet. Like that. Then we're going to look for the next space, that's right there, and do a single crochet. All right, and we're going to make a total of 16 single crochet. Once you've done 16 single crochet, there should be 1 chain left, and into this chain we're going to do an increase. So go in there, do a single crochet, go back into the same space and do another single crochet. Like so. Now we're going to finish the round by doing a slip stitch into the stitch with our stitch marker. So we're going to take out our stitch marker. We're going to go into that stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through the stitch and pull through the loop on our hook all at once, like this. Now we're going to insert the stitch marker into the slip stitch that we did. And now the first round is finished. For the second round, we're first going to chain 1 and then we're going to do 2 increases. So into the next 2 stitches, we're going to do an increase. So first we're going to go back into the same space where we did the slip stitch. So that's the space right there, really close to your hook. We're going to go in there and do an increase. Like so. Into the next stitch, we're also going to do an increase. Now we're going to do 17 single crochet. So into the next 17 stitches, we're just going to do 1 single crochet. So let's do that. Once you've done 17 single crochet, we're going to do increases into the next 3 stitches. So into the next one, we're going to do an increase. Into the second one, we're going to do an increase. And into the third one, we're going to do an increase. All right, now we're going to do 17 single crochet once again. So into the next 17 stitches, we're going to do 1 single crochet. Once you've done 17 single crochet, there should be 1 more stitch left before the stitch marker. And into this stitch, we're going to do an increase. Like so. Now we can take the stitch marker out, and we know that we inserted the stitch marker into the slip stitch of the last round. So this right here is the slip stitch. This is the chain 1. So we're going to do a slip stitch into this one right here, because that was the first stitch that we did for this round. Like so. Now let's insert our stitch marker back again. And now the second round is finished. To start the third round, we're first going to chain 1 and we're going to do a single crochet into the first stitch. So the first stitch is the same stitch where we did the slip stitch. So go in there and do a single crochet. Then we're gonna do an increase into the second stitch. Like that. Then we're going to do a single crochet into the third. And do an increase into the fourth. Now we're once again gonna do 17 single crochet. So for the next 17 stitches, we're gonna do 1 single crochet. So once you've done 17 single crochet, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first and an increase into the second. And we're going to repeat that 3 times. So let's do that. We're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first and do an increase into the second. 1 into the first and do an increase into the second. 1 into the first and do an increase into the second. Okay, now we're once again gonna do 17 single crochet. So for the next 17 stitches, we're gonna do 1 single crochet. Once you've done 17 single crochet, you should have 2 stitches left in front of the stitch marker. And here we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first and do an increase into the last one. Then we're gonna take out the stitch marker. So that's where we did the slip stitch. This was the chain 1. So we're gonna do a slip stitch into this stitch right here. And then insert your stitch marker back into the slip stitch. All right, so now the third round is finished. To start round 4, we're first going to chain 1. Then we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second, and do an increase into the third. Okay, we're going to repeat this once more. So do 1 single crochet into the first, 1 into the second, and do an increase into the third. Now we're once again gonna do 17 single crochet. So for the next 17 stitches, we're gonna do 1 single crochet. Once you've done 17 single crochet, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first 2 stitches and an increase into the third, and we're going to do that a total of 3 times. So do 1 into the first, 1 into the second, and an increase into the third. 1 into the first, 1 into the second, and an increase into the third. 1 into the first, 1 into the second, and an increase into the third. All right, now we're once again gonna do 17 single crochet. Once you've done 17 single crochet, you should have 3 stitches left in front of the stitch marker. And here we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first, 1 into the second, and do an increase into the last stitch. All right, now let's take out the stitch marker. So this was the slip stitch, this was the chain 1, and this is the first stitch that we did. So we're gonna do a slip stitch right there. All right, now let's put our stitch marker back into the slip stitch. And that was it for round 4. For round 5, we're first going to chain 1, and then we're gonna do a single crochet into the first stitch, single crochet into the second, single crochet into the third, and an increase into the fourth stitch. Okay, we're going to repeat that once more. So do 1 single crochet into the first, 1 into the second, 1 into the third, and do an increase into the fourth stitch. Now we're once again going to do 17 single crochet. Once you've done 17 single crochet, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first 3 stitches, and we're going to do an increase into the fourth stitch. And we're going to repeat that 3 times. So 1 into the first, 1 into the second, and 1 into the third. And now do an increase into the fourth. 1 into the first, 1 into the second, 1 into the third, and do an increase. 1 into the first, 1 into the second, 1 into the third, and do an increase. All right, now we're once again gonna do 17 single crochet. Once you've done 17 single crochet, there should still be 4 stitches left in front of the stitch marker. And right here, we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first, 1 into the second, 1 into the third, and we're gonna do an increase into the last stitch. All right, now let's take out the stitch marker. So this was our slip stitch, this was our chain 1. So we're gonna do a slip stitch right into this stitch. Okay, now let's put our stitch marker back in there. And now round 5 is finished. For round 6, we're just going to chain 1 and we're gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around. So we'll be doing a total of 64 single crochet. So let's do that and I will meet you at the end of round 6. Alright, so I've done 64 single crochet and now I'm gonna take out the stitch marker and I'm gonna do a slip stitch into this stitch right here, because this was a slip stitch and this was a chain 1, so this was the first stitch that we did. Alright, now let's put back in our stitch marker. And that was it for round 6. Now for the last round, which is round 7, we're first going to chain 1 and then we're gonna do 43 single crochet. And after that, we're gonna start making the first ear. So let's first do 43 single crochet. All right, so once you've done 43 single crochet, we can start making the ear. And for the ear, we're going to work all of the stitches into the same space. All right, we're first going to make a double crochet. So for that, we're first going to yarn over. We're gonna go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now you got 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. That's a double crochet. Now we're going to make a triple crochet. So we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to go back into the same space, yarn over, pull through. Now you got 4 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Now you got 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. All right, let's do that again. So yarn over twice, go back into the same space. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Let's do that once more. So yarn over twice, go back into the same space. Yarn over, pull through the first 2. Yarn over, pull through the next 2. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. All right, now we're going to do one more double crochet. So yarn over once. We're going to go back into the same space. Yarn over, pull through the first 2. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. All right, so that's it for the ear. Now we're going to do slip stitches. So for the next 14 stitches, we're going to do 1 slip stitch in there. So let's do that. Once you've done 14 slip stitches, we can make the second ear, and we're going to do the exact same thing as we did for this ear right here. So we're going to start off by making a double crochet. So yarn over, go into the stitch. Now you got 3 loops on your hook. Go through the first 2, go through the last 2. Now we're going to make a triple crochet. So yarn over twice, go back into the same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. Now let's make another triple crochet, so yarn over twice, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now let's make one more, yarn over, pull through, like that. Now let's make a double crochet, like that. Okay, now the second ear is finished as well. Now we're gonna do 5 more single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're gonna take out our stitch marker and we're gonna do a slip stitch into this stitch right here. All right, now we can cut off the yarn, leave a bit of end to it so that we can hide the ends. All right, and now the base is finished. Let's already hide the yarn ends right here. So grab your darning needle and attach the ends to it. All right. First thing I always like to do is to go into the stitch where we did the slip stitch. So that's right here. Okay, I'm gonna bring it to the back like that. And then on the back of my work, I'm just gonna move through some stitches. Example like this. Pull it through. Okay, I'm gonna move to one more side, like that. Okay, and then you can cut it short. Okay, so now the base is finished and it's time for making the details of the face. And we're first going to make the nose and the eyes. However, remember that if you have black felt, you can also just cut these shapes out of felt and glue it on here. This might be easier, especially if you are a beginner. However, in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to crochet them. So let's start by making the nose. Okay, so for making the details, I'll be using a single strand of black yarn and my 3mm crochet hook. And for the nose, I'm first going to start off by making a magic circle. If you're not entirely sure how to make a magic circle, I've got a separate video on my channel explaining step by step how I'm always doing it, and I will link that down below in the description. All right, so let's make a magic circle. And for making the nose, we're just going to make one round of stitches, and after that we're already going to close it. So for the nose, we're first going to do a single crochet, like that. Then we're gonna do a double crochet, so yarn over, go into the magic circle, pull up a loop. Now you got 3 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Then we're gonna do 3 single crochet, so 1, 2, and 3. Then we're gonna do a double crochet, so yarn over, go into the magic circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Then we're gonna do a single crochet, and we're gonna do 1 double crochet. Okay, now it's time to close the magic circle. So I'm showing how I do this in that other video on my channel. All right. Now we're gonna do a slip stitch into the first stitch that we did, and this might be a little bit difficult to see because it's black yarn, but you're gonna try to find your first stitch, and do a slip stitch in there to connect around. All right, then we're gonna cut off the yarn and pull it through. Now let's hide the yarn ends into our work. So grab your darning needle, and I'm attaching it like this. All right, first I'm going to bring this one to the back. So I'm going to go into the same stitch where I did the slip stitch, like that. And then on the back of my work, I'm just going to move it through some stitches. Like that. And then I'm already going to cut it off. Okay, do that for the other one as well. And cut it off. All right, now the nose is finished. Now let's make the eyes, and for the eyes we're also going to start off by making a magic circle. And here we're going to do 4 single crochet into the magic circle. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then we can already close the magic circle. Like that. And do a slip stitch into the first stitch. All right, then you can already cut off the yarn. And I'm once again going to hide the yarn ends the same way I did for the nose. All right, once the yarn ends are hidden, there's one more thing I like to add to the eye, and that is this little white dot or stripe on top of it. And it's really small, but I think it adds a lot, so I'll be showing you how I do that. For that, I grab my white embroidery yarn. However, as I showed you, if you don't have embroidery yarn, you can just take regular yarn and split the ends to make it shorter. So then you can just take half of your yarn, for example. Take these 2 strands. All right. So I'm gonna attach that to my needle. And then I grab the eye. And I'm just gonna make a little stripe. So I'm gonna move from back to front, like this. And I'm gonna move a little bit to the side. Right there. And I'm gonna create a little stripe by doing that. Okay, I'm gonna go back once more to make the stripe a little bit thicker. So I'm gonna go back into this space where we first went in. Go back in there. Okay, pull through. And I'm gonna go over it once more. Like so. Then I'm gonna cut off the yarn. All right. And now I'm gonna hide the yarn ends. You can decide to tie these 2 together. However, I'm just going to weave it through and that's it. Because after this, we're gonna glue them onto our work. So I don't think it's necessary to tie them together. So I'm just gonna grab 1 yarn end and I'm gonna attach it to my needle. Okay. And then I'm gonna go through some stitches, make sure that it's not showing on the front of the eye. So for example, like that, you don't see anything of it on the front. Push it through, like this. Gonna do the same thing for the other yarn end. So attach it to your needle. And just move it through some stitches. Like that. Okay, then I'm gonna cut them short. Like this. And now one eye is finished. Now you have to make one more, so you can just go back into the video and make one more of them, and I will see you once you got 2 of them. All right, once you got 2 of them, the eyes are done as well. And now we can just place the nose and the eyes onto our work, and we can glue them on. So I'm just putting the eyes in the middle of my work, and I'm kind of making sure that they're lining up with the middle of the ears, like this. And the nose somewhere right there. All right, so let's just glue it onto our work, and I will see you once it's attached. Okay, so now I've glued everything on, and I've put the eyes a bit more to the bottom because I thought it looked better when I put on the glasses. So that's something you can try as well. Just put on the glasses and see whether you like how it's positioned. Now I'm going to show you how to make the eyebrows. So for the eyebrows, I'm going to grab my black embroidery yarn, and I'm going to attach it to my needle. And for the eyebrows, I'm just going to put the eyebrows a bit above the eyes, and I'm going to make sure that it's a bit diagonal like this. All right, so let's first do the left eye. So I'm going to go from back to front. Just going to go, for example, right there. Okay. And I'm gonna move a bit down, for example, to the stitch right here. I'm just gonna see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I'm gonna make one more. So I'm gonna go back where we first went in, from back to front. And I'm gonna make one more stripe to make it thicker. All right, so that's it for the first eyebrow. Now I'm gonna cut off the yarn. And to secure it, I'm just going to make a double knot on the back of my work. Okay, then I just cut it short. And that's it for the first eyebrow. Okay, so now we're gonna do the exact same thing on this side, and I will see you once you got 2 eyebrows. All right, now the eyebrows are done as well, and the only thing left to do is to do the blush. So let's do that. So for this, I'm just gonna be using real makeup blush, and I'll be using a real brush for this. You can also use your fingers, however, a brush is a bit quicker. So I'm just gonna go into the blush, and I'm gonna pat it on top of the cheek of Winnie the Pooh right here. Okay. And I'm just gonna keep doing that till I like how pigmented it is. Something like that. Okay. Let's do some here. And just do that till you are happy with the way it looks. Okay, now the glasses holder is finished, and you can just put your glasses on there, and I think it it looks really adorable. I hope you like the way yours turned out as well. If you liked the video, don't forget to give the thumbs up. This would really help me a lot. And if you would like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe, and I hope I will see you in another video. So thank you for watching and see you!